Well, for this week in sports, we check in first with the boys basketball team, who on Tuesday were playing their fourth game in 5 days. Looking to move past a tough loss at Braintree on Monday night, it would be the perfect time to play a struggling Framingham Flyers team who are coming in at 3-10. And right from the very start, the Raiders would set the tone early, forcing Flyers to turn the ball over again and again, and would jump out to a 13-0 lead in the first. And in the second quarter, give the Flyers credit here as they put together a run of their own. And after a second three-pointer by senior captain Sebastian Jobert, the Raiders find themselves only up by 7, 21-14. But the Raiders would close out the first half on a 13-1 run of their own, and we go into halftime with a commanding 34-15 Raider lead. Wellesley would then open up the third quarter on a nice Aiden James jumper, and it's all Raiders the rest of the way in this one, as Framingham's Drucker James tries to get something going on a fast break layup as he's fouled, but it's a deficit just too big to overcome. As the Raider lead would go up to as many as 33 points, giving Wellesley a chance to rest their starters and have the bench get some valuable minutes. The Raiders win this one easily to the final score of 74-41 as they go to 10-4, staying in tournament contention. Moving on to girls basketball, the Raiders would be coming off a solid road win at Framingham on Tuesday night. Wellesley would then have to play back-to-back nights due to last week's snow postponements. Their challenge on Wednesday? Facing the 11-1 Braintree Womps, a team that has in the past handed Wellesley gut-wrenching season-end playoff losses. And right from the start, Braintree has everything going for them, building a quick double-digit lead at the end of one quarter. Womps' defense was also downright nasty, smothering the Raiders almost every time they had possession of the ball. And the Raiders would find themselves with their backs against the wall, having to fight for every point. And so in the second quarter, Wellesley would find some positives though as a team, including the play of freshman Dorian Cohen, who stood out in her first start, getting some key points down the stretch for the Raiders. Wellesley would end the quarter on a Sophia Mavromatis fast break layup and one, and go into halftime down 28-10. In the second half though, it would continue to be all Braintree, as the Womps would go on to win in this one to the final score of 51-20, improving to 12-1 on the season as Wellesley stays at 500 at 6-6. In basketball, after tough losses like this one, it's key to have short-term memory, move on from the loss, and focus on the next opponent. The Raiders as a team will look to do just that in a Herget Division matchup on Friday night as they face Dedham. And finally, we check in with boys wrestling. The Raiders coming in at 12-6, doing most of the damage on the road, were finally able to play Wednesday in front of the home crowd in a matchup against the Brookline Warriors. And for the majority of the competition, it was a well-balanced attack on both sides, as each team would trade matchup wins throughout each weight class. And it would be Wellesley who would finally be able to pull away in this one, sparked by the great pin wins by brothers Lou and AJ Grignafini, overpowering their opponents and winning resoundingly. With back-to-back forfeits by Brookline, the Raiders would be able to ice the victory on a one-and-done pin win by Luke Mastriani, and the Raiders improved to 13-6, with the final score Wellesley 45, Brookline 26. For Raiders Sports Report, I'm Rebecca Karen.